It's day 10. Do it to life. Do it to 2021. We're going to vote. We're going to do it to the polls. It's your boy Ob Z. Day 10. And guess what? Guess what today is? Today is all about seeking. I know Monday we're using the ask method, and on Wednesday we always talking about seeking. And seeking is a little bit different from asking. We clarified a little bit more on Monday that asking was getting direction. Seeking is going to require a little bit more action, and we're going to be using more of our senses to start seeking and looking and turning over stuff and really having intention on finding stuff and clues and resources along our direction that we already found out when we was asking. You know, he's saying seek and you shall find. One of the good stories out of the Bible was the widow's oil. I talked about that. If you hadn't looked that up and read it, wonderful story. He told a lady to go and borrow some pots. Now, borrow some pots meaning she had to go door to door, knocking on doors and asking for pots. This is part of the seeking. They were seeking out the pots that she needed. And a lot of times, once we decide which direction we're going, we're wondering if those resources are going to be there when we need them. He's saying, seek and you shall find them. Because a lot of people will say, and they may not let me borrow no pots. They may not let me get, the resources may not be there. I may not be able to find that many. But he said, just go and seek for them. You got the direction. It's a divine direction. Now just go and seek, and the resources will be there. We have to have that trust, have that faith, and that belief that we will find what we're seeking for. Not just looking. Looking, you kind of got your hands in your pocket and you're walking around and just maybe see what I can spot easily. See, the key word in here is easily. Seeking requires some energy. It requires some effort. And a lot of times our brains and our bodies will talk us out of that seeking part, the second step of this ask method of changing our lives and doing this seeking to our lives. We're going to need to take our hands out of our pockets. We're going to need to turn some things over. We're going to need to look behind some things. We'll have to come a little bit more out of our comfort zone and start to expect. It's an expectation. It's an expectation. Somebody told me, hey, look, we hid some stuff. Now, in the natural, we believe it. Not in the natural, somebody say, hey, look, man, I hear some money under the seats. We'll go seeking because we're expecting it to be under there. Well, as it start coming to our lives, coming to our futures, then we start to second guess a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We start to think that maybe it doesn't apply here. Remember, this whole thing is we've done these steps before. They've worked for us before in other areas. But there's a disconnect in the brain, and that's the bridge that we're going to be doing over the next 365 days. We're going to be bridging that gap from what we've already done before. You've already done these things. And that book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey, he mentioned in there that you'll go full circle and come back and know the first place for the first time. When you started out, you go full circle and come back and you be like, gosh, you know what? Never saw that. So what happened? We're in this asking and seeking and finding and knocking. We become a different person. We become our future selves, and that's what we're striving for. Do you have a good vision for your future self? Do you have a good vision for your future self? Remember, I mentioned the Avengers and Doctor Strange. You may need to go back and find your favorite movie or your favorite superhero and just pick out a positive role model. Maybe it's not in a movie. I like to use movies because in the movies those superheroes are using superhero powers. And I'm telling you that you have those superhero powers. You have that x-ray vision where you can see through people, through circumstances. Remember I told you one of my favorite quotes from, you may want to get this book too. It's on audio. Guess what? It's on YouTube. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It. It is packed full of affirmations. Now on Saturdays, now we're going to be going over War of Words on Saturdays. And that's where we're going to be using affirmations. We're going to be watching what we say, what we talk. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit tomorrow in the Four Agreements as we go over the first one in a little bit more detail. The first agreement is going to be impeccable with your word. Man, it's going to be awesome. I listened to it last night. It was absolutely awesome. Now, right now, we're getting ready to go and vote. We're getting ready to do it to the polls. I suggest all of you guys vote for somebody. Get out and vote and exercise that right. Start exercising and flexing that muscle. This your boy ObZ. It's gonna be short. I may come back with a couple of snippets. I may post something to my Instagram or some pictures of me at the polls because we're doing the early voting. So we're gonna do it to life before life do it to us, right? And we're gonna do it to 2021. This is a whole year of breast cancer/cancer awareness in every area of our lives. Every area of our lives, and we're gonna raise the money too. Us together. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Do it to life.